What's up everybody, my name is Vincent. Welcome to Cryptolution, where we talk about everything under the moon in the crypto universe. Today is Friday, May 23rd. Now specifically in today's video, I'm going to share with you what most crypto influencers who have their favorite tokens will never talk about once it comes to the launch of your token on a tier 1 centralized exchange listing such as Kraken. And that is Dog Bitcoin, once it's live for spot trading, is it a buy the rumor, sell the news event? Well, in this video, I'm going to share with you a previous token that was listed on Kraken and its hype cycle and what happened to it after it was launched. So that way you can have a better understanding and also a strategy to ultimately win regardless in the buy the rumor, sell the news event. But before we even get into that, I want to cover and recap what's happening around Dog Bitcoin. People are talking about it, especially CoinMarketCap, and why CoinMarketCap is making a huge statement that Dog Bitcoin is going to flip a blue chip meme coin out there. And then I want to share with you as well, other than charting analysis, the current stage we are at in terms of the psychology of market cycles. So let's get right into it. Let's not waste any time. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to join us on X, and please be careful with any of the scammers down in the comments below. I will never reach out via WhatsApp, Telegram, direct messaging, or email. So please be careful and invest safely. So guys and girls, let's get right into it. So Dog Bitcoin right now has taken a slight retracement. It used to be yesterday at around 560 million. It's currently at 520 million. Now this is obviously due to Bitcoin. Bitcoin earlier this morning was roughly around 111,000 and then dropped as low as 108,000. That's due to a lot of leverage traders. So let's go ahead and compare Dog Bitcoin to Bitcoin itself over the past 24 hours. Looks like Dog Bitcoin is still outperforming Bitcoin. It's up 5%. Over the past 7 days, we're seeing that Dog Bitcoin is up 51%. Over the past month, 198%. Over the past year, this is actually quite fascinating, up 27%, getting very close to Bitcoin's price. Overall, we were up 16%. I've been trying to tell everybody over and over, and you're probably hearing me repeat like a broken record, that we are soon going to cross over Bitcoin's price in terms of gains. We saw it back over here and over here. You're going to see it again. And I'm telling you, as a warning, we're heading there. So it's either up to you if you're going to dollar cost average or not. Well, based on CoinMarketCap's ranking for meme coins, right now Dog Bitcoin still sustaining around 119 ranking. That's actually really good. Just yesterday, we flipped ApeCoin and Memecoin. By the way, that's huge news. We even flipped PopCat. We were right below Brett not too long ago. Remember when I said in yesterday's video that our target for Dog Bitcoin is to flip SPX 6900? We're getting very close to that, and I guarantee you we will get there. So let's talk about CoinMarketCap. So CoinMarketCap has been reporting on Dog, and just as of this morning, in CoinMarketCap's week in meme coins, they just reported that the biggest gainer of all meme coins was Dog Bitcoin, as you can see right here. It doesn't just stop there. So in their weekly meme coin reporting, which is completely separate, they reported that Dog has surged nearly 30% and has its sights set on overtaking Dogecoin. Sounds wild, right? If the Bitcoin ecosystem truly gains momentum, I wouldn't count it out. You never know what could happen. This is crypto, and they're absolutely right. Things can happen so fast. It literally took Shiba Inu to be in the millions to the billions within just 50 days. Imagine with Dog Bitcoin, by the way, on a bigger market share chain, which is Bitcoin, while Shiba Inu is on a very low market cap chain such as Ethereum, you have the monetary power to boost Dog over thousands of percent, not just hundreds. I'm talking about thousands of percent. And that's not crazy because we've seen different charts where multiple coins, Bonk, Dog Whiff Hat, Shiba Inu, all these specific tokens have pumped over the hundreds of thousands and also in the millions, believe it or not. It's crazy. Everybody's catching on to the Dog train. Even CoinGecko reported that Dog is the #1 trending meme coin in the meme coin market sector. And not only that, Robert Clark from Saflo actually had a really great point. He said, fun fact, if you combine the market cap of the top 10 ordinal collections by volume, if you double it, they're still worth less than Dog on Bitcoin. Then Zed, one of the co-founders of Magic Eden, said, I never thought I'd see another XRP army, but I think the Dog army is it. These MFers are everywhere and they are relentless. And I just want to loop back on Arjan, the co-CEO over at Kraken. Remember, he is one of the very few people, along with Peter, who is the asset listing principal, and also Matthew Barbie, who is the VP of growth over at Kraken. Arjan is not only just bullish on Dog, he's interacting with the Dog army. He has the dog ticker symbol in his bio. And if you notice, he's actually interacted and retweeted much of the dog army's posts. He is bullish on dog, and he's definitely going to be sharing dog at multiple live events and also conferences regarding crypto, such as the Wyoming Blockchain Symposium. Just one of many leaders that are going to be showing up with other leaders. I'm so happy that Arjan is taking the dog pill and he's part of the dog army. So yesterday, Arjan did confirm that runes right now, the runes protocol, is going to be integrated with Kraken. Now, the reason I bring that up is because right now, if you're looking at these runes right here on Magic Eden, this is the best place to buy runes right now. Now, you know I'm bullish on dog, but I have to be real. You have to be bullish on runes in general. Because if you think about it, right now, dog has a 517 million market cap. The reason I'm focused more on dog is because it's more likely to get listed on tier 1s than any of these other meme coins. I mean, what do I mean by that? I think that dog is going to be first in line. So that's why I put most of my money, most of my bags into dog. But if you don't want to put your money into dog, other coins that I think you should really focus on is Pups, Mim, and Billy. Now, what I pay attention to is their unique holder count. I actually think it's quite healthy. Look at Pups, 12,000 unique holders to 35 million market cap. Then you have Mim token, 22,000 holders. Billion Dollar Cat has 14,000 holders. I think the ratio between the unique holder count to the market cap is actually quite healthy, in my personal opinion. So if you're like, I don't want to go invest in a dog, if you were somebody that only has $100, $1,000, and that's your max spend, you should definitely look into these other communities and just see how active they are online. Do they have great leaders? Are they pushing for tier 1 centralized exchange listings? Just do your research and see if you can get some exposure to this, but primarily for me, I'm only primarily focused on dog. Now, I reminded everybody many times over and over, please, for the God's sakes, do not short dog. Not to keep dog's price down, but because you're going to get liquidated, okay? So this is something that I reported just as of yesterday. And nonetheless, we saw over $30,000 of OKX, Bybit, and Gate.io leverage traders get liquidated. These are the shorts. But also, I warned everybody, even if you're shorting dog, it's also the people that are longing dog. Please don't get into leverage trading because you're both getting liquidated. Look at the longs. The longs just got liquidated roughly on OKX, Bybit, and Gate.io, roughly $20,000 to up to $56,000 on each one of these platforms. But also the shorts are getting liquidated as well. Now, I understand that as a leverage trader, you can make money, right? You can take that risk on, and if you're a professional trader, yeah, you're most likely going to want to gamble that money. But I'm just telling you, the best way, it's just dollar cost average and hodl. That's all you have to do. But nonetheless, there are going to be leverage traders out there. They're still going to do this. They're not going to listen to me. But I'm just letting you know, just be very careful when you get into leverage trading. Now, right now, I'm pulling up Giga Chat. Now, why am I pulling up Giga Chat? Well, the whole point of this video is talking about, is the dog spot listing on Kraken a buy the rumor, sell the news? So the reason I have Giga Chat up is because it's a great example of what a buy the rumor, sell the news could look like, and also how it rebounded. So right now, the market cap of Giga Chat is roughly around 233 million. Believe it or not, it used to be at 800 million not too long ago. So let's focus on the amount of unique holders, meaning the top 10 wallets that own Giga. So right now, if you scroll down to Bird's Eye on the Giga specific token, you can scroll down to see the top 10 holders and how much percentage they own in circulating supply of Giga. So with Kraken, by the way, they roughly own 16% of the total supply of Giga. Now let's go ahead and go over to this specific post here, which is the decentralization ranking. Now I mentioned to you that the top 10 holders of dog own roughly 16%. That also includes BitGet and Gate.io, one of the top 2 exchanges right now that are tier 2s that have dog allocations for their customers. But nonetheless, it's the most decentralized. I've not done the top 20, 50, or even 100 wallets with Giga, but I would say you should do your own research for that. But I just want to compare how dog and Giga could compare in terms of their listing on Kraken. So let's go over to TradingView, and I want to see how Giga performed. So if you pay attention to September 4th of 2024, this was the day that Giga was announced to be on Kraken's roadmap, okay? And that's where we are currently with dog. It's not listed live for spot trading. It just the announcement for dog is on the roadmap, and that's where we're at right now. Now, after Giga was announced to be on the roadmap of Kraken, we saw a massive rally to the upside all the way up to here. So that was roughly around a 410% increase when that announcement did happen. But if you notice, it did dip down. And when Kraken listed Giga for spot trading, it was roughly only a 250% increase from that time. And then we saw another pump around 54% before we took a massive pullback to around a negative 50% downtrend. So that's what happened when Giga was listed for spot trading. But all of a sudden, that massive dip sent the price going up, meaning people bought that dip of Giga, maybe possibly because of Murad, who knows. Murad, by the way, is the main person that's pushing for that token, but there's not really any community behind it. And then you saw the price pump up again. All of a sudden, Kraken announces Giga perpetual trading, which happened right here on December 16th. And then we saw a massive pump over the $800 million up at this price point. But remember, there was the Trump Memecoin that launched back roughly around here of January 16th. And because of that Trump Memecoin, we saw a huge capitulation in the total meme market cap, which by the way went down roughly around $100 billion and higher, and liquidated roughly and dropped us down to negative $50 billion to negative $60 billion in market cap. It was crazy liquidations. So here we are currently in the psychology of market cycles for Bitcoin. Now, I want to mention that even though we're right here at the hope section, you kind of saw it back over here. You also saw it back over here. This little pump right here is completely different. This Bitcoin bull run is different from every other previous bull run that we had back over here and back over here, because for this specific time we actually have a tier 1 centralized spot listing for from Kraken. And what happens after hope is that you're going to have optimism, then belief, then thrill, and euphoria. So let's go over to the charting and analysis. So this is the exact moment that Kraken announced for their roadmap, and that's why you saw a huge price increase. And believe it or not, from that announcement, we're only up 68%. So we actually have a lot of time and a lot of gains to be had. And that's why I'm looking at these two different parabola events that happened previously in Dog's life cycle, and looking that Dog right now is forming this trend where it's actually following the exact same trend in those previous two parabolas. So you see these green trend lines? It's because right now we had that massive pump to around $550 million. And obviously because of these large green candlesticks, we have to take another dip to the downside, and it bounced right off of it. But if we break below that trend line, then we're at this new support level here at 460 million market cap, which I brought up so many different times. This was the resistance, now it's the support level. That's really good. But what Dog needs to see is that it needs to hit this specific green line right here. And why is that? Well, we saw it previously back over here. This is a really major big resistance level, because every time we hit this resistance level, we either go down or we go up. So right now, if we break above that, we are confirmed for bullish momentum to the upside, in my personal opinion. I mean, look at the 200-day and the 50-day moving average. The 50-day moving average is this orange line, and the 200-day moving average is this green line. And look at this, they're getting closer and closer together. I'm warning you, once they do cross, which will happen hopefully pretty soon, hopefully by, I think, roughly around June 8th. I'm hoping by June 8th. If it gets to around that golden cross at that time, right around here, then you're guaranteed that we're going to surpass $1 billion. Now, what I'm going to say is that, yes, maybe we could experience a buy the rumor, sell the news. So whenever Dog is listed for live trading on Kraken, which could be above $1 billion, we could see a major pullback. Or, don't forget, this is just the first tier 1 centralized exchange listing. Giga had multiple tier 1 centralized exchange listings. It wasn't just announced on Kraken, it was announced on other centralized exchanges as well. So Dog has experienced only its first tier 1 centralized exchange, and the way that it could break out of Giga's pathway is that we get another tier 1 centralized exchange listing right after Kraken. And I do think it could be OKX in my personal opinion, or it could be some other golden swan or white swan event. It could be Bybit, it could be Coinbase, because Coinbase is in the US just like Kraken. It could be KuCoin. It will be a domino effect. So yes, you're going to see some volatility. It could be the buy the rumor, sell the news, but just like as you saw in Giga, after the listing of the spot went live, it did take a dip, but it went right back up. So if there is a buy the rumor, sell the news, and we take that dip, you're most likely going to see a lot of people end up buying those dips regardless. So either way, for me, I'm just going to hollow through the storm. I don't really care, because I know right now, look at Dog's market cap. Okay, even if it was at 540 million, it was only 0.024% of Bitcoin's market cap, ladies and gentlemen. Shiba Inu, Bonk, Dog, all of them are above 1 to 6% of the market cap of their native chain. Dog is not even 0.05 or 0.5% of Bitcoin's market cap. Think about that. Just 1% would send this token to the billions of dollars. And by the way, nobody's ever seen a token like this before. A meme coin on Bitcoin. This will have God candles, euphoria. It will be the best performing asset this year, and it will flip Dogecoin. Nonetheless, not a lot of people are going to be paying attention to Dog, and that's okay. That's for you to take advantage. Me, I'm dollar cost averaging, and I know it's going to go up and up and up. regardless of what's going on with these buy the rumor, sell the news events. So that's why I want to be completely transparent with you and to share with you what could possibly happen, because right now Dog is set up for huge success. And the last thing I want to mention before we close off this video is that I will be in Vegas next Monday through Wednesday for the Bitcoin conference. I'll be attending a few events. I don't know if I'll be making videos Monday through Wednesday. I will try to. I will bring all my equipment just in case if some big news event does come up, but I can't promise it just based on my schedule. But for sure, if I can't do it Monday through Wednesday, I'll be back next Thursday to make videos about Dog Bitcoin. So with that said, let me know your thoughts down below of what your strategies are, and I cannot wait to read them. So smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to join us on X to receive all of our alpha calls and trades regarding Dog Under the Moon. Till then, see you guys girls next time.